Welcome back to Wainsider, where we dive deep into the stories beneath the surface, the hidden struggles, and the explosive moments that shape the WWE Universe. Tonight, we unravel one of the most shocking returns in recent history, a night that saw Roman Reigns and Jacob Fatu walk back into SmackDown and leave the entire WWE landscape in chaos. From the opening moments of SmackDown, there was a strange energy in the air. The crowd was electric, but restless, as if sensing something monumental was about to happen. Rumors had been swirling for weeks about Roman's return, but no one could have guessed what, or who, would come with him. Roman Reigns has been the centerpiece of WWE for years, the tribal chief who redefined dominance and reshaped the company in his image. His absence over the past few months created a power vacuum on SmackDown, one that others desperately tried to fill. Yet no matter how hard they fought, no one could truly replace him. Please like, share and subscribe for more WWE content. During Roman's reign, the bloodline became more than just a faction. It was a dynasty, a symbol of strength, family, and ruthless ambition. But even dynasties are fragile, and cracks began to form long before Roman disappeared from our screens. Those cracks widened while he was gone, leaving SmackDown on the edge of collapse. Jacob Fatu, on the other hand, has been a wild card, a name whispered in hushed tones, a force of nature known for his unpredictable violence. While he has always been connected to the Anoa'i family, he never stood beside Roman on WWE television. That all changed tonight, and the world may never be the same. As the show progressed, hints were dropped. Subtle references from commentators, strange camera cuts to the entrance ramp, and uneasy looks exchanged backstage. The tension was almost unbearable. Fans were desperate for answers, and WWE milked every second of anticipation. Then, in a moment that will be replayed for years, Roman's music hit. The crowd erupted, a mix of cheers, boos, and pure shock. The tribal chief walked out slowly, every step deliberate, his expression cold and unreadable. The aura of power he carried was unmistakable. But just as the audience began to process Roman's return, the arena lights flickered. A second figure emerged behind him, Jacob Fatu. The crowd's reaction shifted instantly, a collective gasp sweeping through the stands as fans realized what they were witnessing. Roman didn't speak at first. He simply stood there, flanked by Jacob, letting the moment sink in. This wasn't just a return. It was a declaration of war. Backstage, cameras caught glimpses of the Bloodline's former members reacting in real time. Jey Uso, visibly emotional, paced back and forth while Jimmy stared in disbelief. Solo Sikoa remained silent, his face a mask of conflicting emotions. The family was reunited, but in a way no one had anticipated. Roman finally addressed the crowd, his voice calm but filled with menace. He spoke of betrayal, of lies, of people trying to tear apart what he had built. He promised that the bloodline would rise again, stronger and more ruthless than ever before. At first, it seemed like a standard return promo, intense, dramatic, but contained. Then, without warning, everything changed. As Roman extended his hand to Jey Uso in a gesture of unity, Jacob Fatu lunged forward, blindsiding Jey with a devastating attack. The crowd erupted into chaos as Jimmy tried to intervene, only to be brutally taken down by Roman himself. The tribal chief's intentions were finally revealed. This was no reunion. This was a purge. Jacob unleashed a storm of violence, his raw power on full display as he dismantled anyone who dared step in his way. Roman stood by, watching. Calmly, his expression almost chilling in its lack of emotion. The message was clear. The old bloodline was dead, and a new era had begun. Security and officials swarmed the ring, but they were no match for Jacob's fury. The scene was pure chaos, bodies strewn across the mat, the crowd screaming in disbelief. It was one of the most shocking moments SmackDown has seen in years. When the dust finally settled, Roman and Jacob stood alone in the ring. Roman raised Jacob's arm, solidifying him as his new enforcer, his weapon of destruction. Together, they looked untouchable, like kings surveying a conquered kingdom. Backstage, the fallout was immediate. Superstars whispered nervously, unsure where their loyalties should lie. Some were terrified of Roman's return. Others saw opportunity in aligning with his new vision. The locker room was fractured, trust obliterated in a single night. Reports began to surface almost immediately. Some claimed Jacob's arrival had been kept secret from nearly everyone, even top WWE officials. Others suggested this was Roman's plan all along, to disappear, let chaos reign, and return at the perfect moment to re-establish his dominance. The emotional toll on the family cannot be understated. Jay and Jimmy, once Roman's closest allies, now lie battered and betrayed. Solo's silence speaks volumes, his loyalty unclear, his future uncertain. The Anoa'i dynasty is at war with itself. For Roman, tonight was about more than power. It was about sending a message to WWE management, to the roster, and to the fans. The tribal chief doesn't just lead. He conquers. And anyone who defies him will suffer the consequences.